And I love that you said it. I don't like the word boundaries because I consider myself, we're all, for lack of a better way to put it, fractured pieces of the same thing.
I like to think of us as cells of the collective body.
Yes, yes.
Right? And when you think about a cell, what is cancer but a rogue cell that decides within our body, I'm going to make a new body.
Yep.
So they go over here and make this new body, right? Which is a tumor or whatever. And that's how we're living, right? In the collective, right? We've got all these rogue cells running around trying to be the body rather than being collective in the body. I find it interesting too that, a cell is a cell. So within our bodies, our humanness, they choose to do their jobs. Right?
This makes a lot of sense to me because as a little kid, I always used to say to myself, there aren't a billion souls. There's one soul.
There's one.
It's the soul of mankind in all of these. And if I visualize it the way you just shared, Cherie, so thank you. It's a great way to describe it, is that we are individual cells.
Yeah. And like our families are the organ.
Can't help but be related.
Yeah.
We can't help but be related.
Well, and just in that responsibility space, I feel like humankind has left that somewhere. Because that responsibility, each cell in our body has a job and is responsible for that job. Right?
Yes.
Now, every cell is the same. Right? When you take a cell out, it's a cell.
Right.
We're choosing to do those jobs within our body. And when I look out at the collective, I'm like, it is this.
Right.
Because the whole world is within us.
Yep.
So, the fact that cancer is run amok, to me is a given. Because in our world, everybody's in this selfish space.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but
they very much see everyone else as other.
And there's a selfish, predatory space we're in.
Oh, yeah.
Our cells within our body become predatory. We have cancer.
Yeah. When it's just, I need to create my thing. I need to build my thing. I need to eat, protect my thing.
Because humans are operating on the planet like dinosaurs. Eating and consuming and devouring and destroying everything within
right.
Like the dinosaurs could not continue.
Right.
Because they were destroying everything within their path. And that's, when I look at the way we're operating as humans and compare, in relationship to our earth and nature, like we are the parasites. Right? We are what is causing destruction.
Oh, yeah.
And we're out like killing everything in our path so that we can dominate. Lions, tigers, bears, right? We're just in a state of destruction. So I feel that, the Course of Miracles. Have you ever done the Course of Miracles?
Haven't done it, but I have all the books.
Yeah, I've read it. I mean,
Yeah.
But, that's the premise, is that we are all one body. So when they say body of Christ, that Christ-like, we are all that. And until we are all operating for the good of the body, we're going to be living in destruction. And, we cannot be operating for the good of the body unless we are in integrity.
Yep.
Right? And we take on that responsibility. I love what you're in right now. I can feel it, right? Even with you moving because of the conflict with your daughter, right? I love it. That I feel that mom energy is what's going to change the world, right? When we can start raising different humans, because we have birthed everyone here. We have birthed and raised everyone here, right? And we have taught everyone here how to behave. We haven't done a very good job as moms.
Yeah, I was going to say, or not.
We have taught them.
Right.
Just not, we just haven't done a very good job. Right? And I love watching the millennials right now, right, are doing things differently. Right? They've really watched us, and you're in that group, lady, the millennial group, right? They watch and they're like, no, not good. We don't need man women, right? We don't need, I have a friend that she's like, I lived as a man for 40 years, right? In man energy, that energy that is like straight line, go, right? And when you look at in nature and you look back in time, like man is a hunter and gatherer, and a woman is who is looking for the collective. Right? And what's interesting in the tribes that are matriarchal, like everybody is well cared for. Right? Have you ever looked into that, the matriarchal societies? Like, it's very much like, hey, like we are the ones that can literally like hold up a bazillion balls at one time, right? We can. As moms, we have to.
Yes.
We were given that, right? We can see through the eyes of another if we choose.
Yes.
And we can look through those eyes and we can see them as individuals and allow them to become, if we choose, right? So moms have been not making choices in the best for their children as a collective on our planet.
Yeah.
Because in nature, mom's gonna fight. Right? She is not gonna let she's not gonna let that man come in and eat her babies. Right? But we've got moms all over this planet allowing their husbands to go next door and devour their children every day. It happens every day. Right? And they pretend not to know. It's the biggest sin that I just, if there is a word sin, like that's the biggest violation there is. Because here's the thing, and I've sat across from a lot of moms that have been in this space, right? And I'm like, listen to this. Like, you can get mad at me if you want, but if that man was having an affair across town, you would know. So I don't buy that you don't know. I don't buy it.
Right.
Yep.
You may have chose not to know. You may have made actions to pretend that you don't know for yourself, but there is no way. If your man's getting his rocks off next door in the room next door, that you don't know. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it, right? Because I watched my mom get mad over my dad having affairs, but I'm like, I don't buy it. Right? So we as women really have, in the personal responsibility space, I think we have allowed ourselves to be dominated because of that responsibility.
Yep.
Right? Even when we look back to Adam and Eve, that story, right? she turned away from the tree of life. What is the tree of life but our families?
Mhm.
Tree that is growing and becoming, and she turned her back on that. And what did they tell us the consequences were? Painful childbirth, right? And what was the other one? There was painful childbirth and
I don't even, all I know is just getting like cast out of.
Yeah.
got cast out, painful
Mhm.
Yeah.
childbirth. And what were the consequences? Her children were robbers and thieves and murderers, right? First book of the Bible. So was that Bible written for woman? I believe so.
Yeah.
The whole
It's the Wake the Hell Up Bible.
huh?
It's the Wake the Hell Up Bible.
Yeah, there are 12 birth stories in that Bible. And when you think about it, and they progress, right? And it's all these different variations of where a woman chooses not to be responsive. It's interesting, right? Each
Not to be responsive.
responsible,
Responsible.
right? Back to even like Jacob, right? Her sneaking that child in and fooling, like manipulation, like every one of those moms in all 12 birth stories. And so they get to the point, and she's always choosing man, children, which is interesting, right? So we get to number 12, right? That's Mary. They write man completely out of the picture. Like, what do you need to know? Like we're saying, you to child, you to child, you to child. What do I need to say to you for you to understand? Right? That you are what these children become. You are responsible for that, right? So I think we very much underestimate our power as women.
For sure.
'Cause
Without a doubt.
Yeah, even when you think about, because I think of everything, almost everything like a circuit, right? An electrical circuit. Man plugs into woman. He plugs in because woman, if she chooses, is always connected.
Right.
Because she's creating life.
Mm-hmm.
And if she's in that mom energy, she doesn't need to meditate. She's like, right?
Yep.
She is there and being,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Yep.
man comes to us to be filled.
Right.